So I saw this post on Twitter the other day, and it was comparing like Mariah Carey's uh, Spotify monthly listeners to some newer artist or whatever, and they were trying to make a point with it. And my question is, why are we trying to compare current artists whose entire music catalog is and has always been on streaming, and you have tracking for all the time it's been listened to artists that came out in the 90s or the early 90s, even at that, right? These are artists that had to sell actual albums. You guys do realize that, like, you can't go, no one knows how many times Thriller was listened to. Like, you guys do realize that. No one knows how many times Thriller was listened to because it wasn't tracked. You went home, you bought the album, and you went home and you listened to it as many times as you want. This is an album, by the way, that I think has sold, what, 30, 20, 30, 40 million albums. Now, how many streams do you think it would have if every single time it was listened to, it was counted? How many views do you think Thriller music video would have if it was being counted all the times that it was shown on MTV or BET or whatever it is, right? So I think we have to stop comparing these newer artists to the older artists, because obviously the times are different, the expectations are different, the standards are different. The standards by which I guess, equate success is different now. You know what I mean? Spotify listeners too, by the way, monthly listeners is, it's not really indicative of much, to be honest, because you can have someone that has one big hit song or two hit songs that just, go viral or whatever, and people could be listening to that one or those two songs but not listening to the rest of your catalog, and you might have 40, 50 million monthly listeners, but it's only because of those two songs, right? So I don't really think it's indicative of true artist success. You know what I mean? But at the end of the day, like I said, I think personally, I think that we should be grading older artists and newer artists at a different scale. I think there should be separate Billboard charts, that don't compare newer albums to older albums, newer songs to older songs, all of those, because they're again being graded at a different way. You have songs like these newer songs that go by streams, and all of a sudden all these songs are becoming 6, 7, 8 times platinum and diamond, all that, when songs back, especially back in early 90s, I think before mid 90s, right, non-singles couldn't even chart. Think about that. If a song wasn't a official single, it couldn't even chart, right? And then you look at the fact it was much harder to buy singles, or to sell, sell singles back in the 2000s and the 90s than it is now, right? So again, I just think that we got to stop this comparison of the older and newer artists. Let both live. It kind of is what it is. So appreciate y'all.